Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to Talent League. I'm your cat of Velocity. Joining me is Reaper and also Noctish, our lovely analyst. How are we doing tonight, lads?
Pretty good. Pretty good, all things considered. I'm back on casting finally. I had a long off season with Talent League, so glad to be finally back after Titan series concluded.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm fine too. Trying to recover still, but everything goes smoothly so far.
Well, Outnumbered versus Go2Limits is our first game of this evening. I mean, what a game to kick off with. Two teams that we haven't seen too much of, the kind of underdogs, really, going head to head. What more could you ask for?
So we have these two teams mostly playing on new leagues, new T4 leagues, but both of them has tried to participate in big ones too. So uh, we have Outnumber playing in Blast Community. On the other hand, we have Go2Limited has participated in the R6 R6 Combine, the qualifiers. So this is one of these two teams are one of those which are trying to go higher than what is actually happening for them. So I would say this is a fair chance for them to show themselves up in higher tier league and actually try themselves against good teams.
Well, as you can see from your screen, then, people watching the stream, Clubhouse is our map of choice for this evening, and well, a bit of a default map there.
We can say that first. Until the labs got getting banned, I was completely hyped for a possible Night Haven maps. Of course, we finally see the labs in the tier one last night in NAL, but still, it can be fun if other tiers play too. But anyway, Clubhouse, one of the oldest maps in the game, very classic. Recently, teams actually prefer to play on the bar gaming side too, instead of sticking to the CCTV and basement Arsenal Church. So I want to see more of a bar gaming in this possible matchup.
Yeah, I think it is possible we see some more bar gaming action. Obviously, as you said, teams are starting to prefer playing that site Noctish, and while I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more action of it, which I think we will. But I also want to see some more interesting strats come out. Yes, okay, Clubhouse is a default map now, we all know this, but it's still not as default as Oregon, as we know. You can still see some weird and wonderful ways to play Siege, and I'm hoping we get to see some of those today.
Exactly. One of the things that actually can make it interesting, I don't know if Reapers can agree on me or has any insight on it, but with the addition of Rams right now in this game, a map like a clubhouse, especially some sites like Church Arsenal and Get Bar Gaming, can be so vulnerable for the
Yeah.
defenders if attackers choose to play Rams. Unfortunately, we haven't seen many teams actually taking up the risk to play this new operator. But I hope, finger crossed, that we can see these neo operators in this game.
Yeah, I mean, RAM is just overpowered, not to, let's be honest here. R4C with the 1.5, we're basically seeing R4C ACOG once again with a drone that can basically break any soft walls and not be denied either is just, oh my god. I mean, I don't know about reprints, but I think we're looking forward to
Yeah,
potentially
I
seeing
mean,
some RAM gameplay.
I definitely think there should be some RAM, especially because Clubhouse does favor some slower operators. The one thing for me that I've seen so far for RAM is the entire loadout of that character is incredible. The amount of utility you get, and the gun you get, and the secondary you have a shotgun as well on secondary, which you can use to open up hatches and to open up soft floors if you run out of boogies. Uh, the only thing that's holding that character back from being entirely broken overpowered is the fact that it's very slow. It's a 3 armor operator, and a map like Clubhouse does favor the occasional fuse, and so I think when fuse is viable on a map, then Ram definitely should also be. Because they kind of fall into a very similar aspect of the game. They both go from up above, they're both very slow, but they both have a very powerful loadout if you get to use it. Because the AK on Fuse is also powerful, but the R4C is a whole nother deal. And so I think on Clubhouse, you see some Fuse. So at the same time, I think Ram might get some play here.
Hopefully so. Well, just before we move into the game then, Reprints, Noctish, I need to hear your predictions for today's match. Who's taking it?
I guess I'll go with Outnumbered. I'll go with Outnumbered. Just a slight favor here. I'm not really sure how these two teams match up on this map, so just kind of a coin toss.
So we don't have the head-to-head of these two teams at all, and not a very rich history for either of them. So since Reprints picked Outnumbered, I'll just go for Go2Limited, just to be opposite, make it a fun.
I'm going to join you, Noctish, and I'm also going to go with Go2Limits as well. Well, we've got to have some rivalry on the desk, don't we? It only makes it fair.
Yeah, exactly.
But just before we get into the game then, Noctish, let's break down what we potentially could be seeing here on Clubhouse,
So there are different kind of scenarios. A perfect form for me is a multi-dimensional push by either attack side, it doesn't matter which team. A multi-dimensional push is to play top to bottom, and also from east and the part of the maps, pushing together, trying to build a coherence, and then some off-chart plays, a unexpected rush, a ying play, a glass play can be something that make it interesting.
Yeah. Well, Noctish, thank you very much for your input. We are going to see you in just a bit. Reprints, though, we're off to Clubhouse. The match is on the way. Well, we're a bit late to the party, Reprints, but the operator band phase is already underway. We see Hibana and Dokubi off the board reasonably quickly.
Yeah, right. Clubhouse, Dokubi ban, kind of interesting. You kind of want to be going for more hard breacher bans, but that has eased up in recent times, and so first defender ban coming through from Go2Limits is also going to be Solus, or another meta operator. I think the past few operators that have been released on defense have all been very strong, so taking out one of them is kind of a no-brainer at the moment in the current meta, and we'll see the last defender ban roll in, and it's Azami, another one of those very strong recent defenders. I mean, I say recent, Azami's been quite in the game for quite a while, but at the same time, all of the past few defenders, just Azami, Solus, Fenrir, insanely strong operatives, and so you want to be taking out at least one or two of them. Not so much so for the attack, so we see some more classic bans come in. Hibana, a very classic pick for Clubhouse. It means that a lot of hatches might stay closed. You can go for more impact tricking, and I think Dokubi is the one outlier here. What do you think?
Yes, I disagree and agree. Dokubi can be very useful. She has those impact EMPs, especially for this gym site here. Getting the jacuzzi bridge open, she makes that just happen a little bit easier. Alternatively, though, it's kind of a 50-50 ban, because then you do have other people with pocket EMPs, such as Lion, that Go2Limited are substituting her for this time. So it is, kind of evenly balanced, I have to say, on Clubhouse. Yes, she has the calls. Yes, she can hack phones. But looking past that, she is only really good for the EMPs. So it's just been a case of, do you want to just, tank it? Do you just want to tank the loss of the EMPs and bring someone else? That kind of has the same effect, such as Lion, and maybe in some situations even more useful.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on playstyle whether or not you prefer the Dokubi or the Lion, because they both act, again, in very similar ways, the same way that, I brought up the correlation between Fuse and Ram. There's a lot of operators nowadays in the game that fill quite similar roles, but they all still have their own nuance. And so some teams really don't like going against the Dokubi because it's a more prolonged and more oppressive form, as the opening pick goes in favor of Outnumbered immediately. But Lion has one more scan, but at the same time, those scans are a lot slower, or a lot quicker, rather, a lot shorter in duration. So Dokkaebi can be oppressive for a roamer that's on a long flank, and Lion can be pinning down people for a few seconds. So if you're good on attack with coordination and you can coordinate your team to push together, then Lion can be very powerful and way more powerful than the Dokkaebi. But if you just want to find a roamer that's lurking somewhere and you can't be bothered droning like 4 rooms, then Dokkaebi is the one that's powerful. And so with the ban coming in, I'm expecting like a few more lurks, which Clubhouse definitely has the space to do.
Exactly. 2 picks though in quick succession here. NJ finds one, but also Benaya does fall to the hands of Vio in the first round here. Reaper it's happened quite quickly. His first kill, still 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. And yet nothing's really happened. They've only just gotten the construction single open, making that mirror of NJ's job just a little bit harder. He has to try and play slightly more passive because of those hedge holes on the Logi wall. That can look straight out into the construction single, and he can get picked off from there. Open up the jacuzzi breach as well. It's all setting up ready for a very good push. And the one thing they don't have, Reaper, is the advantage.
Yeah, the advantage still in favor of Outnumbered. Although, of course, the mirror window inside of Bathroom is already gone, and with a minute left to play, Go2 is just stalling at the moment, just trying to find some information work, because they need to find an opener into this round somehow. And if they cannot make that work, then they're definitely going to lose this round as another one falls. AK goes down as well, and so big man advantage for Outnumbered. They only have to hold on. Now, Zucchini is getting himself into the building as well. He's trying to pick a fight with a player on top main. Vio gets one inside of the site. He now can see 2 players on main stairs. The plant is starting to come down. And if he can cover the plant effectively here, we might be looking at a post plant as Zucchini is able to get another pick. And so suddenly this all falls apart for Outnumbered. No, there's a player inside of Jim, and now it's a 2v1. That's the planter down. And so now it's only down to Vio with 20 seconds on the board. No diffuser in hand. He knows where one of the players is. He should know where the other one is as well. And there we go. He picks off the first one. He knows where the other is. He has to go for the chase. 12 seconds. He's choosing to go for the diffuser. Now Benny can wait this out, but he has to play his timing right because the plant's already starting to get stuck down. And I think Vio has time to stick this. So this is going to be a post-plant 1v1 coming off of it. And there we go. Vio just about loses it. And Benny able to clean that up for his team. Closer than it should have been, but a good first round from Outnumbered.
Yeah, very good first round for Outnumbered there, Reaper. They played the retake very, very well. They had a 2-man deficit. The man advantage was in the way of Go2Limited, and well, they had just played the retake perfectly. And well, they ended up getting the round event in the hindsight of it. And yeah, there's nothing really much more. A post-plant situation in a 1v1 in the first round. I mean, that's got to say something about both these teams, yeah.
Yeah, I think the most important part for me is the fact that Go2 was still able to stay in the round and they were able to make a play in that 4v2 situation. They did not have the man advantage. They did not have enough information to really go for anything, but Vio just pushes himself into side anyway. Zucchini is able to find an opening pick, and off of that, they convert that into a 1v1 where they actually are able to stick the plant. And so, gotta give Go2 credit where credit is due. And Outnumbered just kind of letting that advantage slip a little bit. So just gotta keep on watch. I think that both of these teams gotta be very careful in this matchup because I don't think they're gonna give each other much space for error.
Yeah, error is not something that can be made in this match or in any match for that being, but especially this one. Both teams, as we've said, we don't know too much about, but are fairly good, shall we say. Proven from that first round, there is no margin for error. They cannot make silly mistakes, or else the round will slip away so quickly. Evidently, in that last round, some small, minor mistakes, and the round slipped away from Go2Limited, who looked like they were, Go2Limited, who looked like they were up to win it. And, well, then Outnumbered turned around and said, no, thank you, we're going to play the retake, and it should be our round, and it will be our round.
Alright, as that's happening, we're moving into round 2. Different bomb site, different luck. Outnumbered now choosing to go to the fabled bomb site that Noctish really likes talking about over on Bar Stock. A bomb site that, when it first came out, people weren't really playing it. At the moment, I think it's a very strong pick. I feel like Clubhouse is a lot about preference in terms of sites. I think the only really weak site, depending on operator bans, can be CCTV. Other than that, I think everything is fair game. And so at the moment, Outnumbered, certainly not shying away from that bomb site, choosing to go to it. And in the meantime, Go2Limits are just going for a top-down clear. They're trying to get control over on cache and CCTV side, and they're just taking their time, making sure they don't make any early slip-ups.
Yeah, Vio does take some shots, none really landed there. We've also got highlight rate for instance. The Legion has been picked up in this round by Outnumbered. Because of his recent changes, as he now has he now does have the shotgun and pocket, which makes making rotate, making head holds a little bit easier. But as we're talking, the cash single is being opened, so they now can quite successfully take that construction control, make any pressure needed to clear out any of the roamers. The only issue is AK on his own on the top floor. He isn't going to be able to do this himself, but it's Dai who is going to be getting the stop wall open, trying to get a line of sight into the bomb site and make their job a little bit easier. But it's a bit of a stall out here from Go2Limits. Reaper says, well, there's not really much happening though, as Vio does take some damage to the hands of NNJ. The Vector in hand, who hasn't found the kill yet, but it's one to fall. Banana does find himself taken down by Cakes, and it now goes into the way of Go2Limits.
50 seconds on the board, attackers now have the advantage. Again, they're continuing to keep this slow. You can see AK is in position right outside of the bomb site, just waiting for his team to be in position, waiting for the call to say, all right, 3, 2, 1, we can go for an execute here. There's still an Echo on the board, so they have to make sure they have enough of a buffer when they're going for that execute, or the Yokai can be the decisive end of the round. And I don't think that Go2 want the round to end with multiple people alive and an Echo Cam to just get it out. First plant attempt comes through, but there we go. AK gets killed, but now Echo is killed on the flank as well, so that's the Yokais off the board. We've got a 3v2 on our hands. A 3v1 now as Go2Limits just push inside of the site, and that flank from Yuji getting in from strip side is a very decisive part of the round. Now Vio starting to stick down that plant. It's only down to Benny, who's off-site, in stock, trying to see if he can get that planter, but no, it's going to be a post-plant situation. He is able to get the sledge, but now he has to find the remaining 2 players, and he has to do it quickly because the diffuser is starting to tick down, and he needs 7 seconds to defuse that.
Yeah, I think this round is all but over. Reaper. He did find Vio though, does take some shots. He isn't able to flick onto the head of the Iana, of Yuji, sorry. And well, I think this is all but over. This is a round for Go2Limits, but it's Benny to find one more. Yuji falls, and it's all up to Kex. This is a 1 versus 1 now, and the second time that we've seen this round goes from not looking like they can win to potentially very, very winnable. Gets off the plan, only 8 seconds, but he might be able to do it. Benny who finds one more, Kez taken down, but is he able to get the defuse off? I think he is by the skin of his teeth, and it's outnumbered.
Oh my god. Alright,
in the second round.
We thought the first round was close, but look at this one. It must have been less than a second left on the timer for him to get that defuse in. Just a big misplay from Go2 in the post plant. It was a 3v1, and they're able to just give Benny 3 individual picks that give him enough time to get on the diffuser just about in time. And you can't be letting things like that slip past you, because now Outnumbered have 2 rounds in a row, and they have a massive amount of confidence with a Benny who just got a quad kill and a clutch of his life as we move into round 3, and he's probably going to keep gunning if that is any sign of it.
Yeah, I mean, we put 0.3 seconds left.
Yeah, it barely gets any closer than that.
Though, and I wouldn't say he's an unusual pick here, but Vigil being picked up. What?
Yeah, you can see the Vigil and the Mozzie, so definitely looking to go for a top floor roam, looking to waste time. The question is, does Go2 play into that, or do they ignore it? I think that's one of the biggest questions for a basement defense every single time. It's, you want to go for a top-down clear? Do you want to entertain them there on that top floor and waste our own time and clear them all out one by one, or do we just ignore it and go straight for site, which of course has the risk of them rotating directly back to site?
Yeah.
But
AK's already found Banana off the board. We were talking about the Vigil cash to curse him off the board. He falls. We were saying in the pre-show reprint we'd like to see some Ram gameplay, and well, we get to see them now. R4C obviously in hand. Who else would it be with the 1.5? Just, I'm intrigued. We obviously know this Ram is going to be going for the vertical play, right? I'm just intrigued to see in which means they do it.
I think that Ram is very strong for Kitchen, because you can very safely make a lot of verts on Kitchen and also on Kitchen Hall, directly next to it. You can do it all from outside. There's like 2 windows and a doorway that you can use. This you can throw them in from outside freezer, and so there's a lot of options for you to throw those boogies down onto the floor inside of kitchen to get a lot of vert destruction done quite early into the round. You don't necessarily need even kitchen control. Because it's quite hard to hit the canister at the back of the boogie, even when you're in kitchen on top of it, because it's going to be coming toward you. And so just you can make a lot of vert very safely. And in the meantime, all right, Michi's able to get down Vio. That's the equalizer that Outnumbered were looking for. They lost a player early, but they've been able to hold on since. They've wasted quite a bit of time. Michi, he was still on that roam for quite a while, and it does pay off ultimately as he uses his C4 to get a kill. So now with Vio down for the count, got a minute and 15, and well, Michi gets aggressive, and there we go. He gets countered out as well. Kex just about survives that engagement. Nearly would have died himself. Benny now getting tagged down as well. A lot of people taking shots here at the same time, and so health advantage about one player for Go2 right now. Also one player advantage in total for Go2 overall, but just two players very low on the board right now.
Yeah, we've also got to look at Kez, though, who is a slither of HP. Half a bullet. A smell of a bullet will kill him, and there it is. NNJ does take down Kez off the board, and it does put the man advantage back to even. We've got to remember, Benny, once again, a slither of HP, just like Kez, has to play so careful. Watchdog going forward out of his position, but he finds one somehow from the kitchen. Looks to potentially find the refrag. Die does do just that and restores a man advantage. Pistol out, finds one, but it's Benny to claim one more as well. Back to the 1 versus 1 for the third time in a row. For the third round of this game, it goes back to the 1 versus 1. Diffuser in hand, but it's this time Ace to clutch it. Go2Limits take the round.
3 1v1s in a row. This is starting to get quite awkward for these two teams. The fact that this continues to come down to 1v1s just goes to show how evenly matched these two teams are at the moment. And again, it was Benny in the 1v1, but this time around, he's not able to clutch it out. He's not able to find the clutch that he did last time. I guess he must have used up all his luck from that time. And so instead, it's Zucchini that goes out on top, and that's Go2's first round. Bit of a shaky one as well, but overall, I think good control. The early kill really played into their hands. And so we'll see how they continue that as Outnumbered now choose to go to the 4th bomb side. And so we're definitely going to see all of them.
Both teams prove that they are very strong, obviously. 3 1v1s back to back. We're moving into the 4th round, and we've seen 3 1v1s. You know, it's both teams clearly making mistakes or clearly countering each other very well, and showing why they are quite a strong, well, why they're both two very strong teams.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, at the moment for Outnumbered, I do have to say that gunfights is something that has been favoring them a little bit. Despite being on the defense, they are the ones that, with arguably the worst guns, which is how the game is balanced, they're still able to come out on top in a lot of these engagements. But for Go2, certainly, I think it's reading situations, and I think it's finding the right moment to push in. And that's something that Go2 have been doing really well, especially like round 1 is a good example.
Yeah.
Here in round 3, where it came down to the last man as well. They have good timing for when they want to get in. The problem is that I don't think Go2 know how to judge very well how to get out at the right time.
Yeah, Go2 are just struggling to find their feet, I think it's safe to say. We've got to look at the side of Outnumbered, though. We said it last time, but the vigil was slightly strange, but understandable. But the Thorn being picked up by Benny. But not only that, Thorn's shotgun. Which is unusual reprints, let's be honest.
I mean, for CC, yeah, and I've seen some weird shotgun plays for Bar, for instance, for holding top floor, but right, opening pick in the meantime going in favor of Outnumbered. But I mean, hey, you've got the C set as a secondary, I guess.
Yeah.
So I feel like I guess you could play it. I don't really feel like it's the best operator to bring a shotgun on, but and you have a Rooney, so you don't really need anyone to make rotates, and you have the mute. What power position are you playing that you need that shotgun, Benny?
Yeah, it is just a bit of a question mark on the side of Outnumbered. Well, yes, she has her gadgets. Yes, she has a shield. But is she...
Here we go. Stay back. Originate. Launching drone. Going flash.
But meanwhile, AK does find one more, does take down one, but it's Zucchini to take down one more as well. Has some shots from Zucchini as well to potentially find one more, running out on Garage, but hasn't found anyone just yet. The rotate from Vio as well to potentially catch someone out, and he does. It's NMJ to fall to Vio to confirm the kill, but Zucchini just takes some shots again. But it's AK to claim Watchdogs, the Rooney off the board, and it goes to a 1 versus 4, and it's Vio to close it out. That round crumbled quickly, ended quickly, and it was just a quick round.
Yeah, I was going to ask Benny what do you need that shotgun for, but as it turns out, nothing, because his entire team's already dead. So, just finally we see a bit of a more confident round from just either of these teams. I'm just happy that it's not another 1v1, and Go2 are actually able to find somewhat of a comfort round. And as I had already pointed out, I think CC is one of the weaker sites of Club. Arguably, it's the only one that shouldn't be viable out of the top 3. It's essentially the worst site, but not by much. And you could tell here because Go2Limits just played their round, got the picks that they needed, pushed in off of that, and were able to just find the round fairly comfortably. And so now going back to Jim, which had already worked out for Outnumbered in a 1v1, they want to see if maybe now they can get their first comfort round.
Yeah, exactly. They brought the Frost this time. Also, we didn't see Frost be brought on this site previously, and well, we're going to get to see her this time. Oh, we did, sorry. We did see Frost, I'm wrong. Don't think they brought the Fenrir, though, which is going to be interesting to see how they play it.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, again, Fenrir, very strong operator coming straight into the game. You have a really good primary, you have the Bailiff, which you can make rotates with. You can have access to, I believe it's barbed wire, or as Michi's choosing here, the bulletproof, so just a lot of utility. And then essentially you're kind of like Ella, but instead of one-time gadgets, they are continuous unless you get rid of them. And there's also 5 of them. If you play it right with Fenrir, you can keep activating and deactivating them, and they're essentially everywhere. So at some point you're gonna have to start nading them if you want to make sure that you get rid of them. And you can put them anywhere, throw them. So again, it's a no-brainer to be bringing some of these newer defender ops, and Michi choosing to do so. I think a very good pick. We'll see how that pans out for Outnumbered as we're into the round. 40 seconds off. Kex is holding a long angle onto CC. Most likely his teammates is getting in. Nobody aggressing from rafters, so I believe this might be a garage take. As Yuji, we've seen him be on very good flanks before, late flanks as well. This time around choosing to play the nuke down below, and there we go. He gets the opening pick. That's the Fenrir off the board. I talked so much about him. Let's hope that he activated his gadgets before he died, because there's no way he can activate them now.
Yeah. In the roam coming out, NJ to instantly respond and take down Yuji off the board, and the man advantage once again restored. Reprints we're talking about previously, how these teams are so evenly matched for each other. It's 1 kill and instant refrag, 1 more kill and instant refrag. It's evidently in this round so far. 1 kill comes out, an instant refrag, and it's Kex to take down Watchdog, whatever, we'll go with that. But it's both teammates, Vio. Moving into cash, potentially looking to try and catch out the Cade of NMJ in logistics. We can't do so just yet. We say that though, it's NMJ to fall in logistics to the hands of Vio. 1 more to fall, but it's 2 kills in quick succession. Vio and AK take them down, and they clean up that round quickly.
Alright, that round goes from a stalemate suddenly into just Go2Limits, find all the picks, and there it is. Alright, the round just happens to be over. Another very comfortable attacking round for Go2Limits, and this is starting to shape up like Go2 might be able to get away with a 4-2 split here.
It is looking that way, Reprint, so far. You know, I have to say, Go2Limits are prevailing in, not, I wouldn't say high pressure situations, but the situations where you need to kind of perform. Those parts there. It was just a bit of that round there, sorry. It was a bit of a stalemate. And then they just, out of nowhere, found the kills and then won. There was nothing, they didn't do anything fancy, there was nothing really to it, it just happened. And that's one thing that Go2Limits are doing very, very well.
I found a pick from outside the building. Vio takes the proper map control while Kex covers for him, which he had been doing the whole round, by the way. Like, Kex was outside of the building and then later on highway, and he was just covering for wherever Vio was going next the entire time. He was always looking at the room that Vio was about to enter. And so just the cover play coming in here to make sure that you always have a crossfire angle the moment that Vio pushes in, and then as soon as Vio has control of where they want him to be, he's able to find the pick onto the kite inside of Logi, and from there the entire round unravels, and Outnumbered suddenly don't have the positions that they want to, and they get picked off from angles that they're not really expecting, and immediately just the round is over. Just one or two missteps from individual players, and Go2 just capitalize off of all of that, and so now you can really see that all of these early rounds have been very, very close, but now Go2, I think they're building a bit of momentum, and I think they're getting exactly what they want. So if they can make this a 4-2, this might look dire for Outnumbered once they move to their attacks.
Does take down Banana quickly into the round, and that is probably the biggest pick you can get in the early round. That is your roam player gone off the board as it was the Vigil, so now they don't even need to worry about doing that. They can just sort of move down and work that, and work the vertical, work the setup for the execute.
Reloading. Yeah, in this one, we've already seen a Vigil die early last time we were on basement. So just a bit of a repeat of the pattern. And last time around, Go2 were able to win it out in a 1v1. And Michi again with the refrag. This is very similar to the last time we were down here.
Yeah, it is looking very similar, but let's hope there's a different outcome this time, Reaperince.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Well, at least in terms of how close it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yugi playing very, very, very aggressively. We're looking to play aggressively, sorry, on dirt, but it's also Muchi, who is moving up into Adam, into Secret, into Blue, whatever you want to call it. Potentially looking to catch out the Ash of Vio, but is both players unaware of each position. Surely Mushi knows, but he takes some shots, he whiffs, and it's Vio to prevail. Somehow, the G36C does claim one more, and that's your Mozzie off the board, and now it's a 3 versus 4. NNJ does take some damage, I'm not sure where from, but is forced to move into Moto and maybe looking to try and hold those main stairs.
Alright, getting low on the timer now with man advantage still in favor of Go2. Oh, Mira nearly getting picked off as well. As just Go2 again, just slowing it down, trying to see if they can shape up for an execute, but no. Watch Doge steps into the way, takes down Leo as well. So now in position, just Outnumbered, holding on. They've got a 3v3. They can play comfortably from here. Legion still has 4 mines. I think there's 4 mines in pocket. I'm not sure why he's not using them. So execute has to come through any moment from Go2, and it's looking to be very one-dimensional. They're going in from dirt, all of them in a row. The fire is doing damage to Watch Doge. It's putting him out of position, and now there's one player on AK. One gets tagged down. Yuji is inside of the site as well, but with 7 seconds left, he has to find another. He doesn't win the fight against Benny, and so now it's a 2v1. It's effectively a 1v1 with Benny on 1 HP, and yet again, Benny wins it out for his team in another effective 1v1. So 2 clutches for him on the board, and we draw up equal, 3-3.
Benny, the clutch machine, and the 20-second meta doesn't work this time, Reaperince.
Certainly too one-dimensional velocity. Just too one-dimensional. 3 people pushing in from dirt is just not going to work. I mean, nice effort from Yuji. He nearly reeled that round back in, but just not enough.
Yeah, it was just, as you said, too one-dimensional. You can't have 3 players pushing from one position because, well, one person can just gun down the exact same door and you all find yourself taken out. And that was almost the case. Let's be honest, Fenrir just unlucky positioning. You know, if he was holding it and they weren't aware of his position, he probably could have found 2.
Yeah, he did still find 1 and did find the diffuser carrier, which was a very important pick before he got traded, and that's exactly why I'm saying, you know, well played from Yuji. He was actually able to slip by, and Fenrir didn't really have the time to focus on him, so instead he went for the Capitao, and so he's able to get traded out, and only because of Yuji was that a 3-man dirt push even somewhat of a close round. So despite it being one-dimensional, the Capitao can make a dirt push work, especially if you're using the smokes and firebolts right, and the firebolt there was very effective at you know, clearing the Fenrir out of his position. But again, too little too late. If they had more time, they could have maybe rotated and gone for a more of a split take, have 1 guy backstab and 2 people push from dirt, but you know, what's done is done, and so now Go2 going onto their defense, and with a 3-3 split, I don't think they should be too worried at the moment.
Oh, no, most certainly, 3-3 isn't the worst, but it's Yugi to swing, and it's Yugi to find one, it's Watchdog to fall. And that is your Ram off the board. NNJ, though, takes a lot of damage, but so does Kex, but Kex prevails and takes down NNJ as well. It's just kills after kills here on Clubhouse for Go2Limits, who are on the defending side now. The split has allowed them to play that little bit more aggressive and that little bit potentially even more better, as Mishi, who does try and take some shots through the window, does find Jaeger or Vio, but doesn't take any damage. Or put any damage onto Vio, sorry.
Yeah, right. A lot different in terms of pacing for the defenders here. So Go2 choosing to play very, very aggressive, unlike Outnumbered. I mean, we have seen a few aggressive plays from Outnumbered, but nothing just quite like what Go2 just did in their opening defensive round. And at the moment, it seems to be paying off. Outnumbered stalling quite a bit. They've, of course, lost two very important players, and sadly, we're not going to be able to see the Ram. Now Banana pushing himself down. Blue is able to find one pick onto Yuji. There's a late trade, and oh, Kex is now stuck. They know where he is, and he has to try and fight his way out of it, but no, he gets traded out as well, and suddenly we're back in a 3-3, and so both the roamers that were trying to go back to site almost did so successfully, as Vio goes for a push-up blue and is able to find another. So man advantage back into the favor of Go2, but they found two picks early, and then they somehow surrender both of their players on the way back to site anyway. Just getting caught out, Outnumbered not letting them slip away. That's very good from Outnumbered to still stay in the round, but it's kind of a blunder from Go2.
Almost certainly a blunder, but the man advantage is in the way of Go2Limit. Vio, extremely aggressive here up on Generator, and he is now forced to move back into Church, but no, still playing on this gen, despite the flashes. One flash, two flash goes out, blinds both the players, and it's needed to prevail so far on the hatch though as well. One of the outnumbered players resides, and it's Mishi to take down Vio to put the man advantage into a 2 versus 2, back to even, back to normal, and both teams have a lot of work to do. Go2Limits still having to try and defend, but only 25 seconds left. There's AK to swing, take down Mushi. Benny, the Yingno to take down one more, and it's the 1 versus 1. Benny in another 1 versus 1. This time though, on the other end, it is one to have to try and find the plant, but it's the Pokeball to take down one.
Alright, another Benny 1v1, and AK says, no, we're not doing this again. We've had too many of those. Get out, Benny. Just chucks a Pokeball at him, captures him. That is 1 Ying now in the pocket. And so, just by the skin of their teeth, again, another 1v1, Go2 are able to close out this round. A very good start to it, and the mid-round just giving up picks to Outnumbered that they really shouldn't have. And so Outnumbered keeping it close by finding those roamers on the cutoff, and Go2 being a little too slow on the rotations, or maybe just too aggressive and overstaying their welcome. But ultimately, doesn't really matter because Go2 still are just about able to find it, and so now it is Go2Limit's turn to go over to Jim. They were quite proficient at attacking it, so let's see how they defended Velocity.
Exactly as you said, they were very good at attacking it, very strong at attacking it, and well, is this going to be the case on defense? It is looking to be just, a normal standard hold for Jim. Would we be expecting any more? Obviously, though, they haven't got a mirror on the side of Go2Limited on the defending side, so it is going to make holding that Logi side a little bit more harder.
Yep, certainly. I mean, the Thatcher on the board, there's no way that you can keep any of these walls closed, even if you did elect to bring the Kite, which you can see that Go2 is not even electing to do. They're just bringing a mute. They're saying, all right, we'll put a jammer here that's going to force you to just use your utility at the very least. But you're definitely going to get these walls open. There's no electrification in play, so just not really playing against any walls being open, except for... No, there's no impacts in play either. No impact tricking. So definitely just surrendering a lot of control to Outnumbered in just the operator picks alone, and I'm curious what Outnumbered is going to do with it.
Here we are just going to have to wait and see what Outnumbered do. Although we are also going to get to see how Go2Limited counter anything Outnumbered Anything outnumbered third, then we've seen them do it on the attacking side. Well, the question is, Reapers, are they going to be able to do it moving into the defending side? Yes, we've already seen one round. They did win the 1 versus 1. The question being, will they be able to do it once again? It's looking like a very, very heavy window play as they do try and as they do open one window, but it's NNJ to take down one via the gym window, but it's one more to fall to the hands of NNJ.
Right, Kex trying to go for very aggressive plays just like he did in the previous round, but this time Outnumbered were ready. They're countering him on that C4, just trying to play from Garage, getting some angle onto Highway, but doesn't net anything from it except his own demise. So with 1:30 on the board, big advantage for Outnumbered. They can just slow it down now. They can find out where the rest of these players are. AK is in a very exposed position. If they drone him out, he can get wall banged here, and there we go. He does take some damage from Banana through the wall. And just will have to reposition, and Go2 is starting to run out of space here. Outnumbered, starting to box them in. Just making sure that they don't get away anywhere. They know where 2 of them are. I'm not sure if they know about the 3rd. I don't know if they're aware where Yuji is, but certainly nading VO almost gets him there. So, just trying to get rid of them. There we go. Benny and Banana. Oh my goodness. And suddenly it's a 5v1. This might shape up to be a flawless. Nope. Alright. Cast a cursor.
You can't.
Theo just completely disrupts my point, and there we go. Watch punishes him accordingly for messing with my point. And there we go. We go back and forth. We continue going back and forth.
Yeah, it is just a back and forth scraps at the moment. 4-4 though we go. Reprints, and well, dare I say it, overtime maybe?
At the moment, it's shaping up like it could be an overtime game. It, of course, depends on... I feel like it always depends on... We've just gone into a half switch. Go2 had a decent round. Outnumbered had a decent round. The question is now, like, who's going to adapt better and who's going to make this half his own? Because if either team can just start finding momentum the way that Go2 did halfway through the first half, then I think we can lock this out in regulation 7-4, 7-5. But if the teams continue playing as they do right now and they don't really have any good answers to whatever the opposing team is doing, then we're just going to continue going back and forth until we see an 8-7.
Most definitely. Back to gym we go, though, Reapers. They're going to try it one more time as they were not successful in their previous round, so they are going to try it one more time.
Alright, looking at the operator selection, again, very similar to what we've seen previous round. This time, 2 impacts on the board of Yuji, might be going for some impact tricking, but again, there's only the mute, there's the Thatcher on the board from Outnumbered. We didn't really see too much focus put around the walls last round. Outnumbered were just able to find the frags off of Go2, I would argue somewhat needlessly aggressing in early round.
Yeah.
So the question is, does Go2 adapt their playstyle? Because playing passive is quite weak with the lineup that they have, and playing aggressive didn't work out last round. So the question is, what do you want to do?
Yeah, they need to find the happy medium here, Reapers. As you said, playing passive with this lineup just isn't going to work. You've got a very aggressive operator roster, you have to play into that. But alternatively, playing aggressive previously in that last round just did not work. So it's finding that happy medium. But it's NNJ to find one more. The man's already dominating the attacking round, and it's Vio to fall courtesy of him. The G36C claims one more. They do have the jacuzzi wall open now. Reapers a drone in there, going to be trying to get as much info as possible. They also have the CC wall open. It is completely free to take. Little do they know, Yugi, who is playing in cash, the Legion is going to be looking to try and deny any map control on that side. But it is going to be forced to move on all the way back into Master. It's AK to swing and find one, but it's NNJ to also find one. Instant refrag happens, and it goes to the 3 versus 4. Go2Limits, a lot of work to do to try and defend this side of Outnumbered.
Yeah, NNJ, again, 2 picks now in this round. Just a very strong opener for Outnumbered. He's able to find the frags that are necessary, and Banana's just coming in off of that as well. Able to find another pick, 4v2. This is starting to turn into a landslide. And Go2, they will have to stop it at every turn. Kex on top main. Zucchini, he's still playing inside of Logi. He's playing a rat position. If he gets droned out, he's dead to rights. And so he has to be careful about where he's playing. And there we go. He does get spotted out. He is able to move in time before Michi is able to come down on top of him. And here comes a hatch drop. Bit of an ill-advised drop as Banana gets taken down by Zucchini. And so now, 50 seconds on the board. Zucchini is back inside of the site. They're not really sure where he's gone. So maybe a sign of life for Go2 if they can turn this around. Kex, of course, needing to support his teammate here. Another drone comes in. They know that Zucchini's playing on the mattress. Now here comes the swing, and there we go. That drone giving just enough info for Benny to swing in off of it. And so Kex is in a 1v3, and there we go. He gets taken down by Benny as well. As he turns the corner and puts his phone up, he gets taken down, and we have a bit of a break of character. 2 rounds in a row, once again from Outnumbered, and they retake the lead.
They do retake the lead, Reapers, and they are looking like they are starting to run away with it ever so slightly. Go2Limits are just struggling to defend against this side of Outnumbered. We are going back to Church and Arsenal, which we did see them win previously, so let's hope they can replicate it once more. But the question is, how are Outnumbered going to adapt to this aggressive play style Go2Limits have adopted on this bottom floor site?
Yeah, Go2 last time around were just about able to close it out. Now the bomb site has unlocked again, as of course we've taken 2 rounds elsewhere. So Go2Limits just deciding to go with the comfort pick. They say we've won this before, just about. A few mistakes of our own that we can certainly fix for this round, just clean it up a little. And certainly this should be a round for Go2Limits again, because this seems to be a very strong bomb site for them. So Outnumbered will have to find a different approach if they want to find an answer to it, or maybe they just read into Go2Limits, and just counter them on the way into the building, because we know that Go2Limits like playing directly in the doorways and like playing outside, very aggressive early on. It has been punished in the mid round, but we haven't seen much punishment from Outnumbered in early round.
Yeah, Outnumbered, as you said, finding themselves just unpunished in the early round, but C4 ripped by Kez hasn't been thrown just yet, and I doubt it is going to be thrown at all. But there we go, thrown, exploded, 1 falls. It's Benny off the board. That is your Ying, but it's also NNJ, who takes an extraordinary amount of damage from that, as well as the Monty is about 25 HP, maybe less, maybe more. And now it's a run out from Kez, and he gets away unpunished. They are aware of positioning Adam, and it's going to be the Ash of Banana to move to potentially try and find anything he can, any kill, any bit of damage onto the opposing Valkyrie of Kez is going to help them.
Well, the amount of balls on Kex to just continue sitting in here and continue playing there, and there we go. Vio backs him up as well, and the Monty walks into his own demise. Kex is just sticking this position. He's saying, if you want to clear me out of secret, then you will have to do it with your entire team. I'm not moving from this position until you clear me out. And so he's even going for jump outs. And now 2 players are off the bot. The Monty is gone. There's no Yings for the execute now. You still, of course, have the Ram to play vertical with. You have the Ash to play vertical with. But what are you realistically going to do if Kex is just going to continue disrupting in that position?
Yeah, Kex is playing this very, very well. Now has a teammate on the stairs, well previously did have a teammate on the stairs to back him up. And it looks like Outnumbered have gone, no thank you, we're going to abandon that side of that completely, as it's Michi to find 1 Vio off the board. That is the Jaeger, not a significant pick, but a kill is a kill at the end of the day. Reference against a team like Go2Limits. Outnumbered are starting to potentially struggle to defend this, but as we say, that Man of Magic looks to potentially be restored as Yugi takes a lot of damage, but does just to get away with his life. It does remain that advantage in the side of Go2Limit. They are yet to do anything about this player of Kez, who still remains on the top floor. Yugi to take down Watchdog though, and his list looks like it's gonna go to a Go2Limit round, as Outnumbered are in the 2 versus 4 and are on the attacking side. A lot of work to do. 1 smoke goes out, 2 smokes go out. 1 left in Pocket Reaper, so this round is all but over.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Outnumbered to find their way back in here, as another Vulcan canister is popped. Banana taken down to 1 HP. He has to back off. Michi is able to find 1 pick. The smoke canister has since faded, so he might be able to push himself in, but if I saw it correctly, I think the Ash wall that was open to try and run into the site isn't opened properly, so I don't even think he can run in there. It almost shoots his teammate, as the Ash is going full sprint into Moto, just trying to send it. There's no time to do anything else, and so he gets punished by the player still inside of Moto. And Michi just continuing to hold out on bottom main, seeing if he can find any more exit frags. But ultimately, this is a Go2Limits round all the way through, and we're back tied up to 5-5.
That is more like the Go2Limits we are used to seeing, Reaperants. the Go2Limits that waste the time, they get the kills and somehow get away with it. That is what we like to see, and well, back to 5-5, as you mentioned, back to tied up, and well, potentially looking for Go2Limits to try and close out this match as fast as possible. We, only 2 rounds away now, everything is to play for.
All right, choosing to go back to, or no, actually going to Cash CC instead. So we did see that Jim didn't work out twice in a row for Go2, and instead we are going to CC and Cash, and I spotted something interesting. I think that is a bandit shotgun.
Reprints, bandit shot. You know what?
He is perplexed. Velocity doesn't know what to do.
Should we just see what happens? Because I've got a feeling there could be potential for a maybe cheeky bandit just sitting in a corner.
5 seconds left before
Just to try and get a kill. However, we are just going to have to wait and see, but bandit shotgun is not something you see usually. It is something that is unusual to see, especially on a CCTV site.
Yeah, on a CCTV side, it's a bit strange, because I would say out of all the maps where you would see a bandit shotgun, I think Clubhouse is the one. But yet again, I feel like it would be more accurate to play it on Jacuzzi side. I'm not sure why there's a bandit being brought for that CC, because CC has a lot of very long sightlines, and all you get to play with for long angles is the pistol. And so you gotta make that shotgun work. I think there is a bandit trick coming in on the main wall. Yeah, you can see Zucchini is trying to go for that. AK is the opening death as Banana takes him down. So main wall, I think, is open successfully. The bandit trick not working out. And instead, we have a bandit with a shotgun. We have a man disadvantage. And we haven't gotten any utility out of those shock wires. And so now I'm just worried for what the game plan for Go2Limits was. Because at the moment, it doesn't really look like it's working.
Yeah, Go2Limits' plan has just completely crumbled, and now it's all up. Now it's all up to the IGL to call. This is what we need to do now, because as you said, it's just not going to work.
This is pistol gameplay. He nearly died to Michi there.
Pistol one tap is what he's going for.
Oh, you're kidding me, Benny! No, you can't allow him to do that. Zucchini is able to get the pick onto Benny, who is on rappel with the pistol. Who needs an MP7 when you have a shotgun and a pistol? I guess. Why? Why does that even work in the first place? And there we go. Kex is going for another wide swing onto the player in bottom garage. And so NJ is in down below. And there's the shotgun pick. There's the shotgun pick. There we go. Zucchini. He's making it count. He's making that shotgun work. And I question it a bit. And he's still playing with that pistol out, trying to go for a long angle. And now the Monty gets taken down. He's able to recover Kex, and this round is over as Michi is standing outside perplexed. There's a timeout requested by Outnmbrd even, because this is definitely going to be match point for Go2Limits. So Outnmbrd need to make this next one count, as Michi at the moment just sitting outside, waiting out the timer, maybe talking a bit, just using this extended timeout on top of the timeout they've just taken to just talk through the round maybe, and see if he can maybe get some opening picks that might open up back into the round if G2 want to hand this away, if G2L want to hand this to him. Of course he's going to take it, but I don't think that he's going to push in aggressively to try and win this round, because he doesn't feel like winning this round off the back of himself is possible. But no, there we go. Yuji is giving him another pick, and Go2Limits, they're doing this weird thing again where they have big man advantage and they start throwing away players because they want to get the last pick, and that is opening them up to the vulnerability.
There's no way
like Benny or maybe somebody like Michi winning the round, and it's a triple kill as Outnmbrd now with 18 seconds have turned this into a 1v1. It's only down to Michi. He has a rough idea of where the last player is. He is looking at red, but he doesn't know where the shotgun player is, and there we go. Zucchini with the shotgun is able to reel it back in, and they requested a timeout, made it look like they weren't going to play, and G2L got too confident and almost threw that away, but the shotgun from Zucchini once again pulling through, and for him a triple kill in the round. He's able to close it out, and G2L, they've got their match point opportunity now.
Go2Limits giving me a heart attack, but that is the Go2Limits we are used to seeing, getting kills, silly kills, and somehow getting away with it. I mean, we not only did we see a one tap from Zucchini, we saw a shotgun kill from Zucchini. We saw two, not Jaeger shotgun, bandit shotgun kills from Zucchini, and he clutched around with it.
He was 1 HP as well. Michi was so close to clutching that 1v4. I feel so bad for Michi because that was such a nice clutch attempt. But at the same time, I mean, the shotgun is funny, so just shotgun.
It's just... I have no words for that reprint. That was, as you said, Go2Limits are just... They get the man advantage, a huge man advantage, and then they throw bodies at them, and then it gets close like that, and then Mishi almost clutches it, and well, that would have been devastating if Go2Limits did lose it. Luckily, though, Zucchini does have a shotgun in hand, and well, does clutch it by a landslide. But just, back to gym we go, though. It didn't work for them the first time. It didn't work for them the second time, so potentially reprints, third time's the charm.
Yeah,
And they have brought the mirror this time.
There's a reason. There we. Oh, it's good that you pointed that out because I would have missed it. But that is exactly what I've been missing from Go2Limits in their defensive rounds over on gym. I'm asking, you have no wall denial. There's a Thatcher on the board, so all of these walls are getting open anyway. Why are you not bringing a mirror? I was asking myself this in my head. I didn't get to vocalize it because I think Outnumbered were going for some early picks, so I never got to talk about it. But now is a good opportunity because finally AK has adapted, and we can see there's a mirror on the board now, so you can play around bathroom. You can just let them open Jacuzzi without really losing any map control. And at the same time, you can use the other mirror somewhere else, either on Logi or you can use it on Cash, or maybe even on the main wall over on CC side. And there's a lot of opportunities for you to play around that one-way window because that is going to give you a lot of map control opportunity when walls get opened up, which they inevitably are going to with the Thatcher on the board.
Oh, exactly, yeah. It's a good adaptation. Well, this was needed from the start, and now they're only just bringing it. Yes, it is match point, and it's probably one of the best times to bring it if you hadn't brought them already. But they needed it from the start. They could have quite easily. This could have quite. Those 2 rounds that they lost could have been quite easily avoided if they just brought a mirror, which they just refused to do the 2 rounds they played. So it's good to see they have adapted. It's good to see they have brought the mirror. The issue is now they have to try and manage their aggression. We've seen Go2Limits get very, very, very aggressive on this site, and well, they have to try and manage it as best as they can. As we're saying, this case, though, is down in dirt, and well, I think we know what happens here down in dirt. He is going to be looking to try and find anyone on the Jacuzzi side. Little does he know there's no one there, and they are on the windows of Master, sorry, and Jim. I don't know why I said big.
Well, I mean, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I know what you meant, so not a big deal. Minute and 30 in the round. We've got half the round gone, half the round still to go, and no picks happening yet. You can see the nerves kicking in, Outnumbered not wanting to make an early mistake here. They've got match point opportunity. They did have a timeout to talk about this, and there we go. Benny on a long angle, able to find the opening pick on to Go2Limits. This might be the crucial pick to send us into overtime. We'll have to wait and see, because Outnumbered now have to slowly start getting in and taking control without it making any more mistakes. And NNJ takes down Vio. This is starting to shape up really well for Outnumbered. You just gotta start getting their execute through. But no, the Yin gets shot out with the Candela in hand. AK is able to find a big pick, as now it's a 4v2. Banana's able to find another one onto Zucchini. Zucchini big in the last round. This time around he gets taken down. Banana on a double kill, moves himself into sight, and suddenly it's only down to Kex. He does have a C4 down below. He is playing the Valk. He might have some info on cams on site. We don't know about that. But there is a player downstairs that he's fighting. He now has the Deagle in hand, and NJ also with the pistol out. We've got a pistol fight on our hands, and there we go. NJ is able to win it out. And we are going all the way. We are going to overtime, Dez.
I mean, let's be honest, Reapers. We called it from the start. We said when it was 4-4, could we be seeing overtime? And well, now here we are. We do have overtime, and well, both teams deserve overtime. Played every round to the fullest and played it very, very well, whether they've won it or not. So I mean, can we be expecting it? Yes, we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, judging off of that first half, exactly what I said. If
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Off to Arsenal, or Church and Arsenal we go once more then, Reprint. I think you're having some technical issues. So I'll just take over from... Are we back? Are we good? Yes, Reprint, we're back. Church and Arsenal we go, Reprint. Benny picking up the Legion once again. This man is a Legion demon. You put him on Legion, he goes kills you. 11 and 7 Reprints.
11 and 7. putting in big work for the team. I mean, there's a few others, of course, that shouldn't be neglected as well. Of course, you can see on the other side of Go2Limits, we have Vio, we have Zucchini also breaking double digits. I would say already, but we are in overtime, so it's been quite a while. They can accumulate their kills. There's no standout.
Let's be honest, he's a leisure demon, but the org in the hands of an NJ, of the Wamai, is going to try and take some shots through the Adam window. Hasn't landed any yet, no cigar, no damage to him at the moment. And he's going to be moved right back down. He's forced to move right back down, courtesy of Vio, I think that was, on the upside down rappel. And Zucchini to also open up the kitchen window. They have to get these hatches open as fast as they can, to allow them to maybe get that site set up, to get the execute set up as fast as possible. But it's Kez as well, already in bathroom, looking down to try and find anyone playing on main stairs. Little does he know there's no one there, no one even looking at main stairs other than Watchdog from AKs or mannequins, whatever we're calling it. Or mannequins, sorry, not AKs.
Well, I mean, AK is a player.
Yeah.
And also a call-out that might be confusing if he ends up playing there. We've got AK on AK fighting somebody else, or maybe somebody on AK fighting AK. Certainly wouldn't want to be casting that. So AK, stay away from that corner, please.
Yeah, for the cat's sake, please, please stay away from that. It's Vio, though, he is on that kitchen side. He's going to be punching the barricade, moving out of the building and looking to maybe rotate and help out his teammates. But it's Mishi, though, who is on the roam with the SMG-11 in hand, and is going to be looking to try and cause some damage and waste some time. They do have dirt open. They are going to be walking down. And it's going to be making Outnmbrd defending side of overtime just a little bit harder. They have to try and worry about so many more angles, and it's Vio as well. He is on the verticals in kitchen, is looking to maybe catch anyone out, but the verticals are all wrong. There's no one, they can't find anything, they can't do anything. It's all up to Go2Limits, who have to try and just attack Outnmbrd, who are bunkering down, but it's Kez to get himself injured, not been confirmed yet, and that was courtesy of the SMG-11 of Mishi. It's Zucchini, though, who does take an incredible amount of damage, just a slither of HP, and is going to be swung. And it's Mishi to find one and confirm his second, and puts it to a 3 versus 5.
Now, very low on the clock, execute is about to come down between these two teams. Another execute that is probably going to go down to the wire. Outnumbered, man advantage at the moment. NJ is still able to use some of those Wamai discs, able to get some late round denial, and you can see one of those smoke grenades definitely didn't go where it was supposed to. And there we go, Mishi, Banana, they're able to find Pix, Benny as well. Suddenly it's a flawless round. And so what seemed to be a bit of a scrap suddenly turns into a very one-sided affair, and yet again, I think the strongest side certainly continuing to be in the favor of the defenders, and so we've got a match point opportunity for Outnumbered now.
Outnumbered one round away, as you said, and well, they have to do it on the attacking side, which we saw them have an okay attacking side. I mean, they ran away with it a little bit at the start, but then it kind of just reined right back in, so we are just going to have to wait and see what they can do. We are off the Church and Arsenal. Go2Limits are picking that once again.
Defenders, protect your
And it's going to be
bombs
interesting to
by
see
attack.
how Outnumbered adapts to this attack, to this defending side of Go2Limits. They brought the Capital that they did bring previously. They're bringing the exact same operator roster.
Yeah, at the moment it's shaping up to be like that, and the question is, this time around, are they able to maybe find more time to put together a different execute? Because 3 people in from dirt is not going to work, especially not now that Go2Limits is aware of that push, judging from the last time around with Go2Limits was down here. So
10 seconds remaining.
we'll have to wait and see how this round shapes up. Both these teams are going to be on edge because we're getting closer to the conclusion of the match, and at the moment we're 1 or 2 rounds away from the end, and so this could swing either way, and so neither team really wants to make any mistakes, and so the pressure throughout the match has just been building and building and building, and the overtime being triggered by Outnumbered, of course, did put a bit of pressure off of their shoulders, so maybe they're going into this round with a bit less pressure, and maybe they can play around this a bit better. But Yuji, again, going for this aggressive early play, but Mishi almost catches him out. A lot of damage traded back and forth between Benny and Yuji, but both of them get away relatively healthy from those engagements. So 30 seconds off the board, and Go2Limits trying to go for their aggressive early plays, and while they don't find any success, at least they aren't severely punished for now.
Go2Limits, let's be honest, are just an aggressive roster. We should be expecting to get by now. We should be swinging, spawn peeking, and doing all sorts of random things you wouldn't expect to be seeing. Banana, though, picking up the Twitch in this round. We haven't seen Twitch played at all. Yugi takes a little bit of damage, sorry, from the shock drone. It is going to make him just a little bit weaker, potentially looking to try and find himself killed if he continues playing in that very aggressive position. NNJ, though, still outside the building. Kez, though, is looking to try and find him. Little is playing behind the car and is unable to find him. He is going to be looking at the trying to play slightly more passive now. Outnumbered, though, they absolutely need to get this vertical open as soon as possible. Well, that's why they brought the Ram. And it's going to be Banana trying to walk down the main stairs, met by a Legion trap, and has pulled out the syringe. And he is going to have to try and clear out anyone beneath him. And the question is, how is he going to do it?
Oh, Vio is trying to go for a flank on red stairs. There's a drone that goes past him, but no, instead he gets taken down by it. And then Jay able to find one, Banana able to find another, and Outnumbered have opened up this round wide. And Go2Limits now reeling from those two picks being found. Yuji also on roughly half HP, and with a minute still to go, Outnumbered can certainly put together and execute here to lock this out once and for all. We might be looking at an 8-6 if this continues. And so still some drone utility. Banana walking down main hall, already inside of the site. He's inside of church, he's inside of blue. He's trying to wrap around on his opponents, and there we go. He's able to find one. The second guy is not able to confirm him instead. And so Michi now gets another. Yuji finally able to confirm it, but it might be too little too late. And it is, as Outnumbered are able to find the last player. And in overtime, they finally decided for themselves that they're able to win an attack on basement, which has been so difficult for either of these teams. And a very close-fought Clubhouse goes to Outnumbered.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly close reprints, but very well played from Outnumbered in the end. They played very well. Yes, we went to overtime, but that's exactly what we like to see. We do like to see some overtime games. We do like to see overtime in general reprints. And, well, what a game. It was to kick us off for the evening. But reprints is one person that can break everything down better than us. Noctish, break us down. What happened?
Hello there, people. First, let me check if you can hear my sound. Yeah, I think you can hear my sound now.
Yeah,
so, back into the game. That was absolute banger. What a beautiful game we watched. I really enjoyed it myself. But let's break down what actually happened in this game. So, we were playing against two teams that basically didn't know each other. Mostly there were no wards available, and a complete different play style. So Outnumbered very aggressive when they're attacking. Go2Limited playing more of a time roaming game to try to waste time as much as possible. But something that bring the win for Outnumber here was the ability of these players to drone, communicate, and support each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that the droning from Outnumbered is what was able to get them over the line, especially in that last round, but also in the round that even got them to overtime in the first place. I think Outnumbered, just having the better drone play on attack is ultimately what nets them the 2 points that they get now. And it is the slight advantage between these two teams, which, again, I mean, they have no information about each other. They're going into this game blind. And then on top of that, I think they're also matched very evenly in terms of skill because they both have a very similar history stepping into TL now, into the contenders.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the best points to point out. I can add another layer to this game that we watch is outnumber players being committed to what they wanted to do. So if a player was was planned or actually tasked to go down to secret, no matter what kind of obstacles that were in front of him, he would committed to do that, either playing a little bit back, trying to push when the window opened, no matter whether it's a smoke or a Goyo canister, that player was staying in the desired position to find the possible and best outcome of that kind of push. This is what we didn't see into Go2Limited. They were trying to find the workarounds. They were trying to change their whole plan mid-round. It isn't good ability of the IGL or the coach to implement such mentality into the players that okay, fine, you can scrap the idea and build something else based on the round, but it is not something that you will see every day and it works every time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say, Noctish. But thank you very much for breaking that down for us, Noctish. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes, Noctish. We are going to take a 15-minute break between our matches. Then join me and Reprints back in 15 minutes. You're going to want to miss the next match.